Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Heat, a special segment of Ringside Heat for the radio and for our social media. You can follow us at Ringside_Heat. And of course, you can follow Sauga 960 AM at Sauga 960 AM and follow there and listen to their programming live, sauga960am.ca. And we at Ringside Heat, we are so excited, we're so blessed, and we're so very, very happy to be able to welcome one of the greatest professional wrestlers, not just of Canada, but in this generation, and I might say one of the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestlers of all time. I'm Lex Tan. Alongside me is John Dawson, and our guest today is the Rated R superstar, Adam Copeland. Adam, welcome to Ringside Heat. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thanks, man. That was a whole lot of words. I was like, is he going to breathe?
No, he's not.
No, he's not. But thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, man.
First of all, thank you again for being here, and your homecoming. You're coming home. You're coming home here to Toronto, and main eventing. Yourself and Christian an I Quit match on AEW Dynamite and for the TNT Championship, which is crazy to me. So congratulations, and really looking forward to seeing you guys do your work.
Yeah, this is it should be a fun one. You know, I don't know if we both ever thought we'd get an opportunity to perform against each other in Toronto again. I truly didn't know if I'd ever perform in Toronto again either. So this for me, it's not a surprise, but there was a point in time where I was like, okay, I might not perform in Toronto again. So to get to come back and do this and be against Jay, it's kind of mind blowing sometimes if I actually stop and think about the entire road and just everything in this last 40 years that we've both gone through professionally, what we've gone through personally. So to end up back here, this seemed like the no-brainer, the place to have is the culmination of this thing. At least I think. It's
100%. The story's beautiful, man. It's really, love watching the way you're digging into just this whole story has been just wonderful to watch.
Usually the best stories have a lot of truth in them. And this one has so much because we met in sixth grade,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now I do get the impression though that the turtlenecks are a bit of a trigger. I don't know. I feel like that's been the
that's been the reason. The
that's what's all behind this.
The turtlenecks are a choice. When I saw Shade and Wayne coming out of them too, I was like, oh my God, here they go.
You should show up in the turtleneck on Wednesday just to meet him. Really get into that vibe.
Just like get into his head. Yeah,
man. Yeah, 100%.
And also show that I look so much better in them.
yeah, exactly. Precisely. That's where I was going with this, Adam. You're obviously being in Toronto, but you're Orangeville originally, right?
Yeah.
So I'm an Aurora boy, live in Newmarket now, but I had a trailer, my camp that for years. I was about 50 minutes from Orangeville. And so I spent quite a bit of time. I love the downtown there. It's just such a beautiful little town. And do you mind if I just share one quick story about Orangeville with you?
Yeah.
We went to a bookstore there, Reader's Choice, rare books. And my kids, who are huge fans, all they could say to the owner was like, we know Adam Copeland's from Orangeville. Like, they're like, is he here? And they said, no, but your mom used to go in and buy you books from Reader's Choice. And so they just couldn't wait to buy books from the same place that you got books. So not only did you foster their love of wrestling, but their love of literacy, Adam.
I'm all about the love of reading. So, if we got kids reading, amazing.
100%.
I still go back every time I go to Orangeville. That's one of my stops because they have used hockey books that I can't find in the States.
It's crazy. The collection was amazing. We got like some Jules Verne, like old edition of like really, it's a beautiful store.
Like awesome stuff in there. Yeah.
Couldn't recommend it enough. And it's just, you feel like you just walked, it's just a maze. Like it's just, there's stuff everywhere.
And kind of going into a different era too.
100%. Yeah. No, we spent
it's nice
probably
to,
the bet.
It's always nice to go back.
Yeah. And we had brunch at Angel's Diner several times too.
Oh, yeah. Did you get the female bacon?
Of course. Yeah. And the schnitzel. I tried the schnitzel too. It was pretty, that was pretty killer.
Oh, now you guys are making my mouth water. I got to go there tomorrow. Jeez.
Yeah. Highly recommend.
Drive for me. I'm in Scarborough right now.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Good.
So I had to share the Orangeville connection with you, man, because it was a pretty nice one.
Nice.
I should have asked this off the bat though. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I really am. I'm having a blast. I'm having fun, and that's truly become my only rule in life. Is if it's not fun, I'm not doing it. And that was really the impetus for coming to AEW. I looked at the roster, and I just thought, oh man, there's so much fresh opportunity there. There's so many people that I've never, just created with. And that was super exciting. Like I looked at the roster and it's like, okay, there's Hangman Adam Page, there's Moxley, there's Claudio, there's Samoa Joe, there's Kenny Omega, now there's Will Ospreay, now there's Okada, there's the Young Bucks, there's FTR. I've never touched any of those people.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah,
that's nuts.
Yeah.
Joe and I have been in this industry for how long, and we've never crossed paths. So to be able to look at that and go, right, that seems like a couple of years worth of fun right there.
It's got to be revitalizing to feel like you're painting with a whole fresh new palette now. You know what I mean? Just as an artist in the craft. Of wrestling.
I think more than anything, it's a blank canvas.
Yeah, there you go. Even better.
Blank again. And and I felt like with WWE, I kind of painted all there was to paint. There wasn't really any.
I didn't want to argue that. Yeah,
there's no more blank spots in the canvas, And for a guy like me, wired the way I am, especially at this age, I had to find something to bite into that was really going to get me, jazzed to be able to physically and also mentally pull off continuing to do this. And again, it wasn't a bad place to be, but it felt like a new place offered, again, that blank canvas.
Yeah. Well, I think, and even just your energy seems different the minute you came in there. It was jumping off the screen at me. It was really cool to watch. Like just there's a different grittiness to you in the way you're delivering the promos. Feels more integrated, more personal, and there's just a great vibe,
It's been fun. It's been fun to kind of what I didn't want to do is do a complete polar opposite of the character that everyone's known in this incarnation of Comeback, right? So I was like, okay, I don't want to just flip everything on its head. I tried that before with Judgment Day, and the crowd just they weren't buying it, right? So it's like, okay, how do I tweak this, make it a little bit different, make it a little bit grittier, make it a little more, sandpaper, and then maybe going forward, start to tweak some things here and there. But in doing that and making that move, I want to keep enough of the same things so that people, if they're flipping through channels, would go, oh, wait, hold on, and still know, okay, that's the same person. So that was part of my choice in coming in, was to not delineate too far from what got me to where I am. But it's going to be fun to play with that going forward.
Especially when you put the hat on, we put the toque on. I was like, that's Darkest Timeline, Adam Copeland right there. That was
the toque comes on, look out.
Yeah, that was it, man. You were serious. It was pretty killer. Yeah. I was like, that's scary.
That's something actually that actually kind of leads into what I'd like to ask you next, is that because you're talking about the craft, and us here on the show, John, myself, we've been involved in the indie promotions here as commentators here, and starting to build that up, and the craft. That's the thing, is like one thing that I've always admired about what you've been able to do is that it's not a nostalgia act with you. You're relevant. You're 100% relevant. You've adapted. You've evolved your craft over the since the time that you've come back. And I want to know, like, how are the things that you feel like your craft has evolved and the way that you paint?
I think being off for 9 years, being retired for 9 years really helped with that, because I went through a lot of changes. I became a father. That changes you, and lived a lot more, responsibility, and everything that comes with that and everything that you learn in doing that. I acted while I was off, and I picked up a lot of things from that to bring back with me. And I started looking at promos differently. Now I look at them in like an audition or a monologue as opposed to a wrestling promo. So that's been really fun. And that might be my favorite part that I've done since I've come back, is kind of how I've changed my promos. That would be the thing to me that I feel like I put the most work into, kind of trying to change. And I'd like to think I've always been a guy who can adapt to the opponent, whether it's you're wrestling Paul White or whether I'm wrestling Daniel Garcia. I don't necessarily have a style that forces people to adapt to me. I like to be the chameleon. It's like, okay, you want to put me in there with Minoru Suzuki? Okay, yeah, right, cool.
I'll work with this.
Or you want to put me in with, I don't know, take a pick. And I want to say that I can figure out a way to get it done. But more than anything, it's the crafting of the stories and the promos that for me is really fun, is just to take a 6-month program right now with Christian, and in today's day and age of people's attention, like, oh, there's a squirrel, it's nice to be able to try and have something run this long, and also to incorporate a lot of different characters. That to me, that's a successful storyline, when you can incorporate like a Kill Switch, a Nick Wayne, a Shayna Wayne, a Daniel Garcia, a Daddy Mac, a Sting, a Darby, all of these different characters coming into play to me is a lot of fun too, let alone with doing the Cope Open and starting to work some different people that I normally wouldn't have had a chance to get in there with. That's been really fun to me. And I've had a blast getting in with such young guys, and if anything, just trying, if they can take something from it, even if it's just listening to that audience or whatever seed it is, hopefully you can drop it there and they can water it, kind of thing. Because when I would end up working a guy like Bad News Brown, man, I just soaked it all in.
Yeah. Do you find you're in more of a mentorship position, like whether sought or unsought?
I think in coming back, that's been the case. And it was kind of the case even before I retired too, because by that point it's pretty deep into a career. And, and if I look at, I've been opening dark match, I've been main event of WrestleMania. So, and every point in between.
Everything in between.
So when it comes to crafting stories, when it comes to even just the business side of things, and trying to figure out, what's going to appeal to a certain demographic, or just a lot of different intangibles that you don't necessarily think of. There's also the art of working for television and always knowing what camera's live.
That one blows me away, how you guys do that. And it's almost like imperceptible in how you're telling your story in ring, but your constant awareness of just that other space. That just comes with reps. It really does. Reps. And comfort with those reps and confidence. An audience can read confidence and they can read lack of confidence. They might not exactly know why, but they're going to know something's off. If there's one place I feel comfortable, it's in a wrestling ring. Wow. Yeah. I should hope so. You're kind of amazing at it.
If not, I should probably.
Yeah. I don't know, man. You're still guessing that at this point. You're acting though, Adam. I got to tell you, my wife, who is a huge fan now, I've been working on her for a few years, but we were big Haven fans, and this character shows up. She's like, "Wow, I think I've seen that guy before." I'm like, "Yes."
Yes, you have.
And, you know him. But she loved you in Haven. So did I. Loved you in Haven, man. Like I'm rewatching it now. It's just a great show.
I always say Haven was kind of like my high school, I felt like, in terms of acting, where I still didn't know what I was doing, but thankfully everyone was wide open and receptive to teaching me.
Seems like that would have been a fun group to work with.
It really was. We all lived in the same little town, Chester, Nova Scotia. We all started having kids.
That's where my family's from. That's amazing.
We'd have potluck dinners. It was really, really
Kaylee's in the kitchen singing the tunes, right?
Yeah, it was so nice, and I realized, that's the anomaly, because it's not usually that way. and I've had blasts on everything else I've done too, whether it's Vikings or Percy Jackson, or it's been a lot of fun. And
Percy Jackson,
again,
hats off to you in that one, man.
Yeah,
it's been fun. Just in that, I do feel like it's given me new tools going forward in wrestling. So, and I know what it helped bringing from wrestling to acting, because if there's a battle scene or a fight scene, we'll walk through it once and it's like, okay, I got it. I'm like,
got
what?
it. Yeah.
I got it. We're good.
I've heard before that they're always blown away by wrestlers because of just the sheer, like, you guys, there's no fatigue. You're so used to just running and going, like, yeah, let's just do this. You can go at a pace that blows people away who work with you as actors. I feel like I've heard that before.
Well, if one thing wrestlers are, or we're not spoiled. We generally, we're independent contractors, and for the most part, we've probably had to do most everything on our own. Yeah. And that goes to managing your road trip. That goes to managing all of it, let alone your taxes, your business expenses, your everything. You're your own company. And it's amazing training going into anything else. When you get to a set and you walk in a trailer and they got your clothes hung up and they got food waiting for you.
Whose is this?
That has been set there. It's like, okay, this is a lot easier than hopping in a car after wrestling Mark Henry.
Grabbing the Burger King.
Yeah, it's like, okay, what's open? Wendy's.
Sweet. JBC's all around.
So it's
different experience. Yeah.
Totally.
That's so good, man. No, it's just amazing watching everything you're doing. Like, huge fans.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And before we go, actually, Adam, so we do kind of 5 faves with our guests. So the first number 1, your favorite cheat food.
Cookies, donuts, and cheeseburgers.
Ooh, okay, nice.
It won't be all at the same time, but it'll be one of those 3.
Okay. I started to think, like, okay, what are we stacking here?
The cookies become cheese.
Yes, there you go.
Number 2, for your favorite music that's not Alter Bridge.
It's the Beatles.
Yes,
it's the Beatles. The first time my girls heard the Beatles, they went, "Dad, what's that?" Oh, wow, that's the Beatles. They're like, "Can you turn it up?" I'm like, "Yep." It was amazing. Like, instantly they heard it and we're like, "Hold on, what's that?" Yeah. But I mean, they're always going to be there. Pearl Jam, Foo Fighters.
Yes.
There's other bands, Avett Brothers. I listen to so much.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you one musical question, Lex? I'm sorry to interrupt, but because I think you and I grew up around the same time in similar places. Were you ever a Tragically Hip fan?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a time when they first came out, when I first heard New Orleans is Sinking, I was like, I don't know if I fully.
It was an acquired taste.
It was an acquired taste, right? But then as they started getting to like fully completely, and I was like, oh my gosh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. Yeah. Mm-hmm. For me, it was Road Apples. When I saw them on the Road Apples tour, I was like, yeah.
Oh, you saw them. Well, I think
I saw them 5 times. I was. Wow. It was a treat. Mm-hmm. Gordy being Gordy in front of an audience. Yeah, that's something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nice.
Sorry, I had to jump in with that one.
All good. Number 3, your favorite Greek mythological character who's not Ares.
Oh man, I was going to say, well, Ares. I mean, I think you kind of got to go with Zeus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like Zeus. That's
Zeus. A pretty safe bet. Yeah.
Number 4, your favorite family-friendly non-wrestling activity.
We go for walks with the dogs. We go hiking with the dogs, and that's always amazing fun. My girls love to sit down and watch the Maple Leafs with me now, which is just warms my heart so much. Like,
you're doing well, sir. You're doing well. You're doing well.
Yeah, I got 2 Leafs recliners, and they hop in with me, and we sit in one recliner, and they watch now, and they get it. They're like, I came up for the All-Star game. I played in the celebrity ball hockey game, and I got a hat trick. Right? Not that I was funny about
nice
at all. I got a hat trick. And I said to Lyric, my oldest, I was like, honey, I got a hat trick. She goes, oh, those things Austin Matthews always gets?
Yeah, those things. Yep. All right, go to bed. That's fantastic.
And number 5, your favorite TV show at the moment.
Oh gosh. Oh man. What have I been watching recently that I've really enjoyed? I just started watching this one called I think it's The Tourist on Netflix. It's from Australia.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. What was I watching before that? Yeah, I haven't watched Haven in years. But gosh, I know there's other things that I really enjoy and I'm just forgetting right now. But what I will say is watching Percy with my family was so much fun.
That must have been amazing. Yeah.
And I'm not just trying to plug my own thing. We would have watched it if I was on it or not, because the girls love it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely love it. And that's been such a cool byproduct of this, is I've had teenage girls coming up to me again. And that hasn't happened for a long time, going, are you? And when it first started happening, I was like, okay, they're either going to say, are you Adam Copeland? Are you Edge? And it's like,
you guys got the hat trick at the celebrity ball hockey tournament.
Are you that guy?
Yeah, are you that guy?
One time with Austin Matthews does every other night.
That's got to be you.
But they said Aries, and I started having grandparents coming up and like full families saying that this was destination viewing for them as a family, and that's super fun.
It was for us, man. We watched it all.
Yeah, and to hear that, man, awesome.
Mm-hmm. It was beautiful. I think we're all Humber people here, I think, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Actually, we are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Music
and broadcasting.
Okay, I was television broadcasting, and my buddy Mike, who's now the intro guy for Hockey Night in Canada, he'll be there on Wednesday for Dynamite.
Right,
he's a Humber guy too. So
yes,
Caps.
But yeah,
visit Caps back at the old.
If you're watching Hockey Night in Canada on Sportsnet and you hear this presentation, that's Mike Pongratz.
Oh,
no
nice.
Kidding, eh? Nice.
Yeah. By the way, I really loved your Hockey Night in Canada intro, Leafs versus Habs during the lockdowns.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, yeah. So good. I loved it. And I love the Brody shirt too. Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was a good night to hear Ron McLean say my mom's name on Hockey Night in Canada.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
One last one for me, anyways. I got to pull a random Toronto fact out of the hat here, Adam. How many times do you remember calling Starphone for wrestling results?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Starphone. I remember once we won tickets to Cops Coliseum, King of the Ring, and
wow.
Jay had called. He answered the phone. He got off the phone and he just pounced on me from across the room. We got
awesome.
tickets. And so
that's amazing. Starting with the Bull of a Watch Time. You guys went up with tickets. All I ever got was Bull of a Watch Time and WrestleMania results. Jeez.
Thank you so much for your time, Adam. We really appreciate it. And we hope to talk to you again and sometime in the near future.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Oh, yes. And by the way, you can watch Adam, you can watch Christian Cage in their I Quit match, AEW Dynamite, March the 20th at the Coca-Cola Coliseum or on TSN on TV as well, too. So make sure you get your tickets. Make sure you tune in because it's going to be a banger of a match.
Yeah, should be a crazy one.
Thank you so much, Adam.
Thanks.